Lately, I've been trying to find something to play, and I couldn't find anything. I went through my entire Steam library, and the only thing I found was a scammer trying to steal my account. And yeah, obviously, I didn't accept that. So, tired of being humiliated, I went looking for something called Game Pass, and honestly, it's not that expensive, right? Yeah, I signed up, but I took it slow. I started with Minecraft, then I discovered Indiana Jones. After that, I jumped into Forza, Oblivion, Starfield. Wait, why am I out of storage already? What do you mean there's no space left? Over the last few years, huge games, or rather ridiculously huge games, have basically become the new standard. And what's weird is that I don't see many people questioning this, so I decided to pay closer attention and actually try to understand what's going on. 25 years ago, we got Final Fantasy IX. About 40 hours of content, split across 4 different discs, each one holding up to 700 megabytes, and all of that, brace yourself, all of that weighed just 3.5 gigabytes. Now let me ask you something. How many PS1 discs do you think it would take to fit the new Oblivion remaster? When the PS2 generation came around, we had a big leap forward. What used to be a 700 megabyte limit per disc became 4.7 gigabytes. So if Final Fantasy IX had released on PS2, it would have fit on a single disc. The PS2 could read DVD-5 and DVD-9. DVD-5 was single layer, maxing out at 4.7 gigabytes. DVD-9 was dual layer and could go up to 8.5 gigabytes, but the PS2's disc reader wasn't exactly amazing, so DVD-9 caused issues. It wasn't very reliable. Because of that, if a game was bigger than 4.7 gigabytes, companies often chose to stick with DVD-5 and just split the game across 2 discs instead of using DVD-9. 2 discs wasn't ideal, but it avoided bigger problems. Crazy, right? Fast forward about 13 years and we get GTA 5 on the PlayStation 3. The PS3 used Blu-ray, which could hold up to 50 gigabytes. Now that is what I call progress. But Microsoft's Xbox 360 didn't use Blu-ray, that was Sony's thing. Instead, they kept using DVD-9, capped at 8.5 gigabytes. And there was a problem. GTA 5 was around 16 gigabytes. So Rockstar solved it by splitting the game into 2 discs. And honestly, that's one of the last big examples I remember of games being shipped on multiple discs. I don't really remember that happening during the PS4 and Xbox One generation. Then we reached the current generation, the 9th generation. And that's when the slow death of physical media was basically declared. Physical copies still exist, but nowadays the disc is really just a license key. The actual game isn't even on it anymore, and some games don't even get physical releases at all. So yeah, we're watching the whole idea of discs slowly disappear, and in a few years, it wouldn't be surprising if consoles became fully digital and turned into giant streaming boxes. And if that happens, that's honestly pretty sad. But what's my point with all of this? I've been talking and haven't landed anywhere yet. Relax, and I'm getting there. Historically, storage limits and game design were tightly connected, and that was a good thing. Why? Because studios couldn't afford to skip optimization. You had to make the game fit on a disc. There was no choice. At the same time, you couldn't just release the same game again. Players would notice, this looks exactly like the last one. There's no evolution. And that wasn't acceptable. So on top of fitting the game into 4.7 gigabytes, or in worst-case scenarios, splitting it into 2 discs, which nobody liked because stopping mid-game to swap discs is annoying, studios were forced to be creative. It was a real challenge. GTA 5, for example, pushed the PS3 to its absolute limit. That console only had 256 megabytes of RAM, and on top of that, the Xbox 360's DVD limit was another huge restriction. Rockstar had 2 major constraints, RAM and storage size. And how did they deal with it? Simple. They optimized the hell out of the game. Now here's the real question. When companies lost those limitations, what happened? Option A, games got better, bigger, and richer in content. Or option B, studios stopped optimizing and just used the extra space. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely picking option B. We're seeing absurd file sizes now. A remake of a 5 GB game suddenly weighing 120 gigabytes is insane. Sure, it looks better, runs smoother, and has some improved mechanics, but that does not justify an extra 115 gigabytes. That's an entire Red Dead Redemption 2. Something is clearly off. Far Cry 6 weighs more than the entire Far Cry franchise combined. 1, 2, 3, 4, Primal, 5, and New Dawn. That's not normal. There's nothing special about Far Cry 6 that explains that size. Same thing with Call of Duty. Black Ops 6 takes up as much space as Black Ops 1, 2, and 4 combined. There's no way anyone can call that normal, because it isn't. Between God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, there's about a 30 gigabyte difference on consoles. But on PC, the difference jumps to around 120 gigabytes. Why? We'll get to that. So yeah, all of this is crazy, but what's the point? Am I just complaining about game sizes? No, not at all. This shows two major problems. First, optimization is basically dead. A 4K texture does not need to weigh a ton. There are ways to compress, reuse, and stream textures efficiently. Remember when I said Ragnarok can hit almost 190 gigabytes? That happened because Santa Monica shipped the game with uncompressed 4K textures. Just the 4K textures alone added around 120 gigabytes. Let that sink in. Second, this shows how the industry got lost in visual superficiality and forgot what actually matters: innovation. And here's the real issue behind all of this. When a game is bloated in size, it creates the illusion that it's bigger than it really is. Casual players, the ones who don't follow industry discussions, are exactly who marketing targets. Sometimes all it takes is seeing 120 gigabytes for someone to think, wow, this game must be massive. It must have a ton of content. But that's not true, and executives can use the same argument to impress shareholders. Look how big our game is. Look how much content we packed in. Don't doubt it. This kind of shallow analysis absolutely happens. Just look at Ubisoft ignoring the failure of Star Wars Outlaws, pretending it sold well, and even calling it a quadruple A game. It's insane. So here's the real summary. They tried to turn consoles, the foundation of gaming, into PCs. That's the mistake. The focus stopped being the games themselves. Now it's ray tracing, 60 FPS, resolution, load times, and the actual game design got pushed aside. Companies don't think about games the way they used to. It's no longer, what new system can we design? Or, what crazy idea can we experiment with? Everything became superficial, more visual than essential. They sell 4K, but they forget to sell games. And hey, if you like games, gaming culture, and this whole conversation around the industry, take a second to check out my t-shirt store. Link in the description.